Namaskaram Sadhguru. You are an enlightened being and you know everything about the source of creation. Then why this quest to know spiritual America? Are spiritual practices and spiritual knowledge different in different cultures? If so, can they be integrated into what we already have in our culture for the benefit of humanity? Can you please throw some light on this? Pranam.
Namaskaram, Shilpa. Sculpture. Do you see natural sculptures sitting out there? Nobody touched it, but still it took fantastic forms out here. So, here we are in southern Utah, in the Arches National Park, and you're asking, why am I searching for spirituality? Well, I am not searching for spirituality. I am seeing how a culture, a people, a civilization that was beaten down in a rush to form a new civilization. This is something we must understand, that making of a nation or a civilization, when we try to do it in a rush, in limited amount of time, it can only be done with enormous cruelty, which is how it's happened everywhere in the world. If it happens slowly, evolves over a period of time, it will happen in a certain way. But when you try to do this in a time-bound way, you try to create a whole new civilization, then unfortunately, enormous cruelty will happen. So this is what happened to the native people, and their culture, their language, their spirituality was in many ways damaged to a point where people thought they won't recover ever. So now they're trying to revive and bring it back. There are many aspects to Native American spirituality and mysticism. I am not thinking of how to crossbreed Indian spiritual process with Native American spiritual process. They're also called Indians, you know. That is not the idea. The idea is to support them. The idea is to bring the cultural and spiritual aspects to the world, to make people know that there did exist a culture like this, because most people's idea of Native American people is whatever they have seen in the Wild West movies. That is a bunch of young people, young men usually, riding on horses and yo-yoing all the time and shooting at whoever comes their way. Well, that's not what they are. They are not Indians, and America was not discovered by Columbus. It was here before Columbus came. Archaeologists estimate that they could have been here for over 40,000 years, okay? 40,000 years they lived here on this land, over nearly 500 nations with their own languages, with their own culture, with their own systems of administration, to a point that the American Constitution today, the United States Constitution, drew a whole lot of substance from the Native American administration systems and their fundamental ethos of peace. So, I want to give them a fair chance to present themselves well and make sure that today's generation understands and appreciates who they were and who they can be. So this is not about crossbreeding spirituality. Such a thing is not needed, because spiritual process is an inner dimension. Culturally, we can crossbreed cultures. You can't crossbreed spiritual process. So, the effort is to bring out the culture, bring out their talent, bring out their spirituality, because their spirituality was made illegal for a long time, and only in 1978 it became a legal process that they can practice this without fear. So that they're beginning to do. Unfortunately, a whole lot of it has been lost. Bringing back ancient cultures into our memories, bringing back ancient cultures into our consciousness today is important in terms of understanding and living a life that our ancients become a stepping stone in our lives, not a trap. Because what is ancient can either be a trap or a stepping stone. I want to see that they don't live in the suffering that their forefathers went through, but they use that past suffering as a stepping stone for a future which is of wisdom and well-being. So in this effort we are making the journey. It's been a fantastic journey till now. Still we have to do many more. Right now we are probably 5,500 miles is what we have covered. I think we are about 40%, so another 60% is still there. We will be traveling into some very interesting areas. Be with me, Shilpa, and ride with me, okay? Let's see what is there to see. There are lots of very interesting things.